This is a common question. We don't get this a lot because a lot of times folks have had some type of exposure with us. Either they've listened to the podcast or seen the videos, but this is actually very common just in the speech class industry, just in general. The question is, are public speaking classes boring? And for the most part, yes, they are. But the reason is that just because someone is a good speaker doesn't mean that he or she is going to be a good coach. I'll give you an example. Like in college, I was required to take a speech class. It was called business communications. And it was a lab class that was taught by graduate students. So by the way, and she was very nice and she was very sweet. She was a really good speaker, a pretty good speaker. She's an okay speaker anyway, but she wasn't a bad speaker by any means anyway. But she used a lecture technique to give us information. So she'd start the lab class by giving us a lecture of things that we needed to know about public speaking. And then every week, a few students would give a speech and then she would critique them. So her lecture, it wasn't that exciting. It wasn't that interesting. And in addition, the speeches from the students, they were pretty boring too. So as a result, the whole class was kind of, it was like, it felt like a waste of my time anyway. So when I created Fearless Presentations, I wanted to make sure that none of our students ever experience anything like that in our classes. So I designed the classes to be informative, interesting, and entertaining all at the same time, because people tend to learn more and they learn faster and they retain content a whole lot longer if they're having fun. So basically, our technique is really simple. We teach a simple component of how to deliver a fantastic presentation. And then while we teach the component, we actually use that same thing ourselves to make the class more entertaining. So we're actually using the stuff that we're teaching, and then we coach the participants in class to adapt the component technique into their own presentations. And that way, when they begin to speak in class anyway, their presentations are easier to deliver. They're more interesting. They're going to get better feedback from their audience. And once the group masters that first component of a speech, then we add something to the process that's just a little bit more complicated, a little bit more difficult. And then we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. I mean, this technique works 100% of the time. And in fact, I was teaching a virtual public speaking class last week. I mean, we're doing a whole lot more of those nowadays. And the comments at the end were things like, "Oh my God, we're done? Man, I can't believe how fast time flew." I mean, that's excellent. I mean, if you're getting feedback like that, that means you're doing really well as a speaker. Another one, by the way, said, "God, that was so much fun. I can't believe how much we covered." And so if you're getting results like that at the end of your classes or at the end of your speeches or at the end of your presentations, then you're probably doing really, really well. So yes, most public speaking classes are very boring. So look for a class like Fearless Presentations that is fun and entertaining, and you'll get a much better result.